Professor Rosemary Bell Antoine is the principal of the University of the West Indies in St. Augustine and a professor of labor and offshore financial law. She has a doctorate in law from Oxford, and LLM from Cambridge, and an LLB from the University of the West Indies. Professor Antoine is an attorney, award-winning academic and author, worldwide consultant, interim Court of Appeal judge, and activist. She was chosen president of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights in Washington, the only person from Trinidad and Tobago. She has served as an OAS rapporteur for persons of African descent and indigenous peoples, as well as head of the OAS Economic, Social and Cultural Rights Unit. She has served as the CARICOM chair for HIV and migration, as well as the CARICOM Regional Commission on Marijuana. Professor Antoine is also the president of the Family Planning Association, a Cambridge Fellow, a member of Trinidad and Tobago's Industrial Relations Advisory Committee, and the sole Caribbean Honorary Fellow of the International Society of Trust Practitioners. Professor Antoine is a two-time winner of the Vice Chancellor's Award of Excellence, first for research and then for public service. She has produced 15 books and countless scholarly articles and was named an Outstanding Alumnus by the UWI K-Phil campus in 2018 and an eminent jurist pioneering Caribbean woman by the Caribbean Court of Justice in 2021. Throughout her career, she has served as a consultant for various governments, international organizations, and the judiciary. Her expertise has been sought after by countries in the Caribbean, the United Kingdom, Venezuela, the United States, and Canada. Additionally, she has worked with esteemed institutions such as the EU, IADB, World Bank, Caribbean Development Bank, CARICOM, UNICEF, ILO, UNIFEM, CAREC, UNAIDS, and ECLAC, among others. Her role has involved drafting legislation and producing influential policy reports on a wide range of issues, with a particular focus on advancing Caribbean legal development. Her work has been groundbreaking and has contributed significantly to shaping policies in the region. Governments and others regard her as the region's foremost labor law expert in labor law, the region's leading authority in international financial law and HIV legislation, and a change agent. Professor Antoine is committed to the development within the context of human rights. She enjoys art, gardening, and is a classically trained singer. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Rosemary Bell Antoine.
I'm really very happy to be able to extend my congratulations to all of you successful graduates and your families on this momentous occasion. And I want to commend you all for being dedicated employees of our local banking institutions or credit unions, insurance agents, and others. And of course, I must also extend special congratulations to this year's two IBF fellows, Mr. Nigel Batiste and Ms. Karen Dabasi. And both of them are actually graduates, proud graduates, I think, of the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus, and they remain friends of the campus. So we celebrate with them. I'm always very happy to see our alumni making meaningful contributions to society. Let me pause too to offer my own condolences for Giselle. We also lost a student last week, so I feel your pain. We live in a rapidly evolving world that has significantly impacted everyone, including the banking and finance industries. As you navigate the changing landscape, the knowledge and the abilities gained through your programs, whether the professional certificate for financial advisors, the Chartered Banker MBA, or the Certified International Risk Manager, will undoubtedly empower you to adapt to these changes and manage financial risk and new technologies. So I think that the theme for this celebration, knowledge, the currency for success, is especially fitting. The knowledge you have acquired from these various programs will prove invaluable as you advance in your careers, contributing positively to your respective organizations. However, while knowledge is the currency for success, knowing how to apply that knowledge is equally critical. Banks and the finance industry have the power to bring about positive social transformation, and you are the future of these industries. As you know, Trinidad and Tobago, as a small island developing state like the rest of the region, faces unique challenges to global threats such as climate change and difficulties on an institutional level with blacklisting and financial de-risking. In terms of climate change, we are witnessing its deleterious, even life-threatening effects each day, from increased flooding events to record-breaking heat. So we do need urgent, multifaceted strategies that support resilience, given the vulnerability of our infrastructure, of our investments, and local communities to these extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and ecosystem degradation. As campus principal, I strongly believe in the need for interdisciplinary solutions. In fact, earlier this year, we launched our cross-campus MSc in Climate Studies with specializations in health, energy, climate finance, and economics, and food security, to name just a few. So it really is crucial to understand the complex nature of climate change, and more especially for you, the significant role that financial institutions must play in promoting a just transition. As someone said earlier, changing the world. We must therefore prioritize sustainable finance and green investments by focusing on renewable energy projects, climate-smart infrastructure, and disaster preparedness initiatives, including perhaps a fund to help rebuild for when disaster strikes. And the recent Hurricane Beryl, I think, emphasizes the urgency for such a fund. Integrating environmental, social, and governance, what we call today ESG criteria, into lending practices and investment decisions can help build climate resilience. Financial inclusion is therefore critical in ensuring that coverage is expanded to include those vulnerable, underserved, and low-income populations. I trust and I hope that you, as future leaders in the banking sector, will take up that mantle. Certainly, too, our economic development in the region hinges on having a stable and secure financial sector. Apart from facilitating finance for the domestic sector, this involves having access to international finance and credit, as well as the ability to trade with countries and obtain foreign investments. However, we do face real challenges in relation to, let's face it, biases and discrimination that hinder correspondent banking and international finance from developing countries like ours. We're often blacklisted unfairly, for example, and subsequently that hinders financial stability and economic growth. Despite how formidable these challenges are, I remain confident and optimistic that you can help to overcome them and make a positive difference. You have now been equipped with the knowledge to succeed. On a societal level, we must also recognize the importance of becoming more socially conscious citizens, which can be achieved through strategic actions. And some of these include enhancing financial literacy, expanding access to banking services in underserved areas, and supporting micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Prioritizing sustainable and responsible banking practices can significantly contribute to equitable development by empowering marginalized communities and fostering sustainable growth pathways in small island developing states. It is critical to highlight that equity is not only imperative at local and regional levels, but also on the global stage for SIDS such as ours. Our challenges, such as our limited influence in global financial institutions and the disproportionate impacts of international regulations, must be confronted squarely. This necessitates advocating for inclusive decision-making processes and fair representation in global financial fora. It also involves lobbying for reform that addresses structural inequalities, promotes sustainable development, and promotes inclusive economic growth. And I think you know that some of our leaders, for example, Prime Minister Motley, have been talking about these on the world stage and getting a lot of traction. So there's a role for the voice of the banking institutions as well. Without equity, there is no social stability. Hopefully, we are finally learning that lesson. And since we are sharing calypsos, perhaps I should say poverty is hell. It is no surprise that the most stable and the happiest countries in the world, and there is in fact a happiness index, are the Scandinavian countries, which have the least disparities in income, wealth, and social services. Notwithstanding, I would like to acknowledge that our financial institutions have been working toward advancing our development. Yes, we can do more, but we must also acknowledge the contributions. And I want to express on a personal, institutional level, my sincere gratitude for many of these institutions, such as the main ones being First Citizens Bank, Republic Bank Limited, Scotia Bank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, for their ongoing support to the UE. St. Augustine, where you've been providing bursaries and scholarships. There are others, but those are the sort of the consistent ones. And your contributions are truly making a significant difference in the lives of our students, especially during a time when there is a worrying decline in interest in higher education amidst increased financial hardship. This trend is another reason I fully endorse our theme: knowledge is the currency for success. However, investing in education is one part of the equation. I would like to make a special plea for support in research and development, and that is all part of education in a broad way, of course. Research and development drive innovation, even in financial products and services, thereby enabling the banking sector to anticipate and address evolving challenges effectively and remain competitive. Investing in research and development will empower banks and financial institutions to adapt to industry trends and sustain long-term growth for the benefit of all stakeholders in the region. You may not be aware, but my campus has made enormous strides in scientific innovation with concrete outputs bringing direct benefits to our society. Just a few examples are our organic pesticides, our cutting-edge high-caliber roofing sealants and plastic sealants tailor-made for our climate, DNA printing, and sargassum products, and these are all ripe for investment. As graduates of banking and finance, you find yourselves at a critical juncture where your actions and decisions hold the power to shape the future of your industry, impacting society more purposefully. You can lead the way in developing innovative, sustainable, and more equitable financial solutions for the future. So it is crucial for you to leverage your knowledge, your skills, and your passion to instigate positive change, ensuring that your sector serves as a force for inclusive finance, equitable development, environmental sustainability, and economic resilience locally and regionally. Let us all commit to these goals. I remain confident and hopeful that together with your organizations, you will transform the banking and financial sector and create a more prosperous and just future for all and overall success. So once again, congratulations, and I offer you my best wishes for your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to observe a moment of silence for the untimely passing of Miss Giselle Peters, one of our graduates and team member of Scotiabank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited. We have arrived at the pinnacle of this afternoon's activity, the recognition of the 2024 graduating class for the Professional Certificate for Financial Advisors and the Diploma in Banking programs. The Banking, Mutual Fund, and Security specializations for the CertFA program will now be announced. I'll call out the names of the individuals who have successfully completed the banking specialization of the CertFA program. From First Citizens, Kellyanne Aguilera, Mark Bash, Farisha Balrup, Joseph Baptiste, Cedar Baines, Lesley-Ann Busby, Shona Coggins, Muna Davis, Alana Findley, Teresa Haradan, Nadira Mangro, Aklima Mohammed, Tashina Prue Neptune, Risha Ramchun Sankar, Alicia Rampagas, Christy Sami, Kadeen Sandy Baines, Avion Theodore, and Dion Thomas. From Scotiabank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Martina Allen, Paul Baptiste, Ray Anthony Charles, Nicola De Freitas, Nicola Henry, Denisa Joseph, Brunella Joseph Cox, Kim Mirage. We recognize Giselle Peters, Mark Phillips, Kayla Pirali Ramdi, Natalia Sundar Singh. From Republic Bank Limited, Nicole Budu Samuel, Michelle Douglas, and Faith Richardson. For the Mutual Fund Specialization from Republic Bank Limited, Sherilyn Budu Ramsingh, Che Dorde, Natasha Edwards, Nico Guerra, Chrissy Hospitalis, Dale Mahabir, Chanel Martin, Sharisa Rahamut, Darren Ramcharatara, Shilana Ramprasad, Orion Suberu, and Kerry Swan. From Trinidad and Tobago Unit Trust Corporation, Natasha Clarence, Richard Evans, Michelle Jamont, and Jesse Sorzano. From JMMB Bank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Kirby Aston. For the security specialization, from RBC Royal Bank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Varun Santu. The Diploma in Banking Program 2024 graduating class will be announced at this time. For the certificate level, from Republic Bank Limited, Bindia Lakpath, Christine Mohammed, and Shafina Ramlal. From JMMB Bank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Narissa Ramprasad. Banking and Finance Professional, Macy Nana. For the diploma level, from Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank, Banking and Finance Professional. We now move to the Advanced Certification Programs. The Certified Credit Professional CCP graduating class will be announced at this time. From Tata Life Assurance, Juan Jagannath. From Neil and Massey Credit Union, Cynthia Kennedy and Lata Mangru. From Aspire Fund Management Company, Clarice Matos Munsami. From Export-Import Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, Sheldon Thomas. The Certified International Risk Manager CIRM graduating class will be announced at this time. From One Savings Bank, United Kingdom, Ella Ann Chuckley. From Eastern Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited, Ria Christian Thomas. From Taku Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited, Jermaine Jordan. From RBC Royal Bank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Marie Moore. From KCL Capital Market Brokers Limited, Adrian Perez. And from Medical Research Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago, Elisha Sanka. We are now moving on to the celebration of more of our international programs and the graduates of our Chartered Banker MBA program. For the Chartered Banker MBA program, from RBC Royal Bank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Jerome Passad and Natasha Subdio. Banking and Finance Professional, Brendan Sergio. Let's applaud the graduates of the class of 2024.